It's going to be interesting to see Sylvanus Petty go up against Raheem Mathey, who he defeated in the last election, and now Natasha Mitchell of COI. And so this is going to be a very interesting race, and I'm going to be watching it thoroughly. And then, of course, if the DNA can get themselves together, it'll be interesting to see who they come with for this general election. Of course, GNA, JJ Percenti is an option. And then you have a couple of PLPs who wanted to run, like Austin Maxey and a couple others. So yeah, give it some thought. It is what it is. All right. All right. I did an interview on Friday afternoon. TMI did a live interview with Mr. Ricky Mathey. Howard Ricky Mathey, the FNM standard bearer for North Eleuthera. And the interview went very well. His main concern was about the funding for the North Eleuthera Airport that has changed several times. As like with this government, a lot of things changed several times. But of course, I guess that's the day-to-day operation of any government. They originally had the Saudis funding the airport renovation well, they celebrated actually getting the loan for the funding for the airport renovation. Then that was $65 million or $55 million. Then they in March, I was in September of last year. Then in March of this year, the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Chester Cooper, said, you know what, we're being fooling with that because the studies are taking too long and the funding is the process is tedious and cumbersome. And so he moved on. Next thing we know, the IADC, the International Airport Development Company, was being solicited to fund the renovation of the North Eleuthera Airport. And then it changed again, and we heard that the work is still going to continue, but this time it's going to be done by the IDB, while the funding that was allocated from the Saudis is now being spent on Grand Bahama. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, these stories keep changing and shifting and shifting and changing. But anyhow, it is what it is. The interview was very good. Mr. Mackey also spoke about the Harbour Island Commonwealth and mentioned that their connection to this whole situation that's taking place with the North Eleuthera Airport. And as a result of that, we heard from a representative of the Commonwealth, Mr. Dolan Curtis, I think his name is Dolan, but he's from the Harbour Island Commonwealth, and he says he wants to tell the Commonwealth side in this narrative. And so hopefully they will get me some funds and sponsor me to come up there, and I will do a live interview with them so that I can hear their side of the story and hear what's going on. As a matter of fact, and also to hear what commitments were made by the government in relation to the North Eleuthera Airport, because of course the government acknowledged that the Harbour Island Commonwealth is owed in excess of $26 million. One of the things that was interesting from Mr. Mackey was that some persons were not even aware that the government was doing the expansion of the airport to the extent that they are already moving on persons' land, and they did not, and nobody said anything to them. But it's going to be interesting to hear from the Commonwealth representative, and we're going to continue to follow this, and we're going to keep you updated on it. Also, and of course, I'm waiting on more interviews from other political aspirants